Alright lads, so today we are jumping back into guild quests, this time around to tackle the melee Soul Reaper guild quest. And this one is noteworthy because it is going to be the last time it returns until the start of next year, when we should hopefully get a new melee Soul Reaper killer. And my hope, of course, is that that character is going to be Bankai Shunsui. Right now, I know that's what a lot of us want for an end-of-year celebration banner. And out of most guild quest phases, I do think that melee Soul Reaper needs a bit more help, at least in regards to a lead, because right now you have access to, new characters, Basby and also Giselle. Both of them are good, but we definitely could get a lot better, especially when compared to most other guild quest phases. So next time we do see this guild quest, we might be getting a new lead, and it's my hope that that is going to be Bankai Shunsui, because a melee Soul Reaper killer is actually really good to be. It means he can also, of course, double down as a potential really good best character in the game Limit Breaker unit as well. Regardless though, I can't remember, have we actually tried out Ganju in guild quest content? I don't think so. So I think this is actually the first time we actually get to try out Ganju. So of course, with that, he's going to be a really good character here. He does have a team boost on his strong attack 2 and also 3, while also providing barriers, which is definitely going to be useful. And the character itself does have a good damage output for the most part. Flurry +2, more damage when at full stamina. No Flurry +3, but it's fine for the most part. And he is also buffing Giselle's damage output by 20%, but I'm actually pretty sure that doesn't stack because Giselle also has a 20% damage boost to mind characters, so it doesn't stack. But in the case with Giselle, right, because the way she does work, like I said, she already has a bunch of boosts here. 30% more damage to Quincy's, 20% more strong attack damage to mind characters. There's not really a need to bring a character like 9th Anniversary Grammy. So instead, like we showcased in the past, the team that we are using here is Giselle as our main lead for main damage, Ginjo for main normal attack damage, and then Ichigo is also just going to be an additional damage dealer, but most importantly, he can apply weakening. And once he does apply weakening, it lets Giselle and also Ganju, by extent, do 50% more damage. Now, this is quite a well-done team. We are using a max transcendent Giselle, a max transcendent Ichigo, but after the first run that we do, after we get a decent score, we are going to remove Giselle's transcendence and then also try out Yatra, because I've seen people actually use her, and surprisingly, she can still be used here. So like always, when it comes to the build, we are going with these 3 accessories, these 3 soul traits. For Ganju, we're going with these accessories, giving him as much normal attack damage as possible. And then for Ichigo, again, pretty much same accessories here. And of course, very similar soul traits. Alright then, so jumping into our first attempt, let's see how this does go. So I kind of forgot the attack pattern with Giselle, got a little lag spike there, but ideally we want to inflict dominate straight away. We also want Ganju to deal damage, and we also want Ichigo to hopefully inflict weakening. So a lot of things going on here, and a lot of things can go wrong with this run. But we're going to use our EX and also Soul Bomb there. Hopefully let Ganju finish up, there we go. Then on Ishin, SA1 into the 3. Pretty decent. Remember, the enemy's HP has been significantly increased, so right now we're not getting like the fastest clear time, but it's still pretty good for the amount of HP the enemies do have. And in this case, 35 seconds remaining. We can definitely get a lot faster. A lot faster. We just need to hopefully get our sides to collaborate with our attacks here. But the final boss shouldn't be much of an issue. The Dominate is going to allow us to pretty much keep the enemies from attacking us, and hopefully allow Ganju to stay at full stamina. And then Ganju can do a lot of damage too, as well as me, because we are using Giselle. Fortunately for us, we do have attribute advantage. Kind of surprised they didn't make it a mind character to promote Ganju a bit more. But I guess Giselle just recently returned, so they're using it as a way to promote Giselle more so. It's actually very close, surprisingly. A lot more close than I thought it would be, but there we go. I mean, we still had like 2 extra strong attacks to go. And I feel like we definitely could have saved an extra 10 seconds on the first 5 waves to give us more time in the extra waves. But at least we're over to beat it. Not really a surprise using this team, so let's try it once more to try and get a much faster score, at least 45 seconds. Alright, then here we go. So SA1. Let's use our 2 here. That's what we want to do. SA1 into the 3. Enemies push back a bit too much, so Ganju's not entirely able to do damage there. We also messed up there with Ichigo using a strong attack when we didn't need him to. But it's going decent. There we go. Ganju's coming through. And then SA1. into the 2. I don't think we get the weakening proc straight away. There's a leftover enemy, so that was almost a bit better. Almost 45 seconds. A lot better this time, though, because, again, Ganju was actually using his normal attacks, and Ichigo, he's the RNG one. We kind of just want him to inflict weakening. If he does that, we deal a lot of damage. So try and make sure you take advantage of the weakening effect. Unfortunately, now, is the run over now by us taking damage? Because we can't get back up to full stamina, right? Unfortunately, Ganju didn't use his strong attack free, so we didn't have the barriers. Let's see if it's even possible. Probably not, because Ganju also lost a lot of full stamina. We'll see how it goes, though. So Ishina is inflicted with Dominate, just walking all over the place. The SA3 team boost has activated. So now we have 18 seconds. Can we do it? Guess we're going to find out. Just use all our strong attacks when we can. SA1, it's very close when you take a hit. Looks like we are still going to be it. In a way, similar clear time when it comes to the extra waves, right? Fortunately for us, we were faster in the first 5 waves, so even though we did take damage, we were still able to beat it. In that case, 41 seconds. Let's try that one more time. Try and go for 45. All right, then, so third attempt, here we go. So we're going to start off using our SA1. Quickly follow up with the 2, because that did get inflicted by weakening. SA3 there, not the best, but to be fair, Ganju came through. EX, little lag spike there. SA1, lovely. We're going to have to instantly use our SA2 here. Fortunately, we got the weakening proc. Look at that. Okay, this is looking really good right now. And then start off with the 3. Use our 1. Then use our 2. 46 seconds remaining. That's exactly what we were going for. This time, though, let's just make sure we don't take any damage. So, unfortunately, I have no... Oh, hold on. SA1, there we go. We got the Dominate inflicted. So, again, really good that Giselle here does have status plus. Kind of messed up my strong attacks there. I'm just playing a bit too safe now because I just don't want to take any damage. So I'm kind of missing strong attacks here. But I think it's better to miss strong attacks than take damage, you know? Because we have 30 seconds right now. We're chilling. Let Ganju deal some damage. Let's use that one now. Dodge out the way. Fortunately, that was a good spawn for us. Even though he was next to us, it does give us a good time to just dodge him. And in this case, looking a lot better on time. 17 seconds remaining on the extra waves. Not even take too long to get, 46 seconds remaining using Giselle. Of course, though, that's at max transcendence. If we do now lower her transcendence, it's going to be a different story, but I think it's still pretty safe to clear using this particular team. So in this case, when it comes to removing our transcendence, like always, if you are using a character 1 out of 5, it technically is better to go with the focus strategy. Just boost the character's focus more than SP. But also, even if you were just using a 1 out of 5 Giselle, you could give the character level 13 SP. I can't do that because I can only rely on the, extra stat. Granted, my Sobom is going to hit harder, but in terms of strong attack damage right now, I'm actually worse than a 1 out of 5 Giselle, so keep that in mind. Alright then, so 1 out of 5 Giselle. Let's see how this does go. I don't think it's going to be that different. It might be. We just need to, again, take advantage of the weakening procs. That was terrible. Not a great start to wave number 1. Because the enemies are all split apart right now. And we also had the enemy... Took way too long to die there. So we're going to use our Sobon still. Not sure it's ideal for this wave, but we'll see. Maybe I want to save the Sobon for the extra waves, But it's not too bad right now. SA3 there. It's not, to be fair, 1 out of 5, we actually did better than our very first attempt at max transcendence. And I feel like we can get a little bit faster. But the main goal right now, at least when 1 out of 5, is just to clear the extra waves. So hopefully in this case, Ganju can come through. Make sure we keep inflicting our Dominate. Okay, Ganju's going to finish up, hopefully, on... There we go. Dodge out the way. I don't know if 1 out of 5 is possible, Maybe I'm messing up here. At least we do beat Extra Wave 2. And that does get us all the orb rewards. That at least should be the main goal. But I think you have to get quite lucky on the weakening procs here. To kill even Extra Wave 4. Okay, Ganju finished there. Okay. It's a bit tough. It's actually very close, though. I think I want to do one more attempt. Try and clear it a little bit faster. And then so we can beat the extra waves. Maybe we just bad RNG there on the extra waves. At the same time, though, maybe it is better to try Gremmy. If you do have access to Gremmy and also Ganju, you definitely can use both of them. You don't need to do what I'm doing right now where we are using Ichigo. I think Ichigo right now is much better for us to clear faster. When you're trying to go for a speed run in the first 5 waves, Ichigo should be better. I think long term, though, especially in the extra waves, it's pretty much better you bring a character like Gremmy with you. Really good there on the weakening proc. Let's use our 2 because we are going to use our sub 1. There we go. Ganju does take down Rukia alongside that also took down the enemy that was left alive. I think we did get a weakening proc there, so that's actually really good. Okay. SA1. Then use our 2. Similar clear time to be fair, around 36 seconds remaining. I think that could have been a bit better there. So let's see how the extra waves do turn out. Really good there. That's what you want to get. You want to get that weakening proc while you're also damaging. So I think Ichigo is... No, he's not locked on me. Much better here, though. Weakening or the last... I'm going to say last rate. The proc there on Dominate. Unfortunately, the enemy is running a bit away too far. We're spending kind of more time chasing right now. 18 seconds. We should be good here. And we got the SA3 team boost. That's really good. Damage right now should be our max here. Ichigo just had a weakening proc. SA3 into the 2. There we go. So it looks like it's even possible technically if you are still 1 out of 5 with Giselle. I'd love to try out Basby next, but I don't own him. Even though I did 25 steps in the most recent end of month banner, we still don't have a single copy of Basby. Fortunately, I don't need him all too much, but 35 seconds isn't even too bad, even at 1 out of 5. So next up, let's actually try out Yachiru, right? Now, when it comes to using Yachiru, ideally, especially with the amount of HP the enemies do have, you want to have her max transcended. Fortunately, she's been, if you at least been playing for the last at least year and a half, she's been in a lot of the bigger banners that you should be summoning on. So if you do have her, hopefully you have her max transcended, because that's exactly what we are doing today. And the idea, of course, that we are still using Ganju. Remember, Ganju does briefly boost our damage with the SA3 and also team effects. And then next up, we're using Nanao. So if you pull for Nanao, again, one of those characters that you can technically use every week in Guild Quest, every phase in Guild Quest, as long as you're using a REAPER. But even sometimes if you're not, it's still good to use. You have the team heal, you have the barriers. Of course, we get the extra 30 SP, but she's also giving, Yachiru 30% more damage and also 20% more summon damage, if that matters. It might. Keep in mind, though, Nanao is actually a sniper killer, so despite her being a ranged unit, she can still do some damage, because I believe she has sharpshooter, she does. So you might as well build her, because even if little, that damage might get you into that next phase, or next wave. Alrighty, so final attempt, here we go. SA3. We kind of want to do it when Ganju starts attacking. So delaying is not a bad idea. SA1 there. That's actually really good. Good start. Unfortunately, enemies get a bit too spread here. Actually a good 4th wave, though. Oh, really good waves here. Hello. SA1. Bit messy on the 5th wave, but we're looking good right now. That wasn't too bad. That's a good 5 waves, truth be told, using Yachiru. I think the weakening procs went in our favor there. But now... we need to make sure we don't take any damage. Got the weakening proc, hopefully. Can't drag Ichigo down. Okay, we're just going to keep our distance. We don't have the barriers now, so Ganju does use his big team boost on 30 seconds remaining. Team boost run off again. Let's back up. Keep our distance. Just try and not have any wasted strong attacks. Oh, we actually got a weakening proc there too. That's good. SA3. It's now or never. It is now or never. Do we get to use the SA3 again? And we have to use all our strong attacks once more. And damn, we took a hit. We got the weakening proc. SA1 of SA3. We done it. There we go. Yachiru. But, I mean, granted, Ganju's also doing a lot of work here. You probably do need Nanao too, but... and you also need Yachiru max transcended. We are using... but then again, we're using a 2-year-old character. But Yachiru beating that is actually really, really impressive, truth be told. And that's not even a bad score as well. Like, 42 seconds remaining. So if you have Yachiru, Nanao, and also Ganju, but no Giselle, or even if you have a 1 out of 5 Giselle, maybe you're actually better off using Yachiru, surprisingly, assuming you can get the lucky RNG. You definitely do need to get those weakening procs, and don't take a hit like I did right at the end of a very close run. So there we have it, that is the melee Soripe Guild Quest phase. It's not the worst Guild Quest phase out there. I think there are worse, but I feel like they definitely do need like a new good powerhouse character, because right now, technically, our premium options is Giselle and also Basby. They're pretty much interchangeable. They get around the same score. Giselle right now has the benefit of having attribute advantage against the extra waves. But even then, you know, Giselle only has Frenzy +2. It's not like her damage output is like super crazy, you know, compared to both 10th anniversary characters. So I'm definitely excited to see what the end of year character is going to bring in terms of just being a good, hopefully fun character, and a good character too in terms of the choicing. My hope is that it's Bankai Shinzui. Because for me, Bankai Shinzui is probably like the most exciting thing that can come from Season 3 of Blood War in terms of Bracer characters. There's other exciting characters too, but I'm really hoping they nail Bankai Shinzui, and if they do make him a melee Serpent Killer, that would definitely make me more excited for him from a meta standpoint, regardless of how good or bad he is going to be. But either way, in the comments below, let me know what team and characters you lads did use, and I'll see you lads next time. Take care, and peace.